Good morning and welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV for another episode of Good Morning Tottenham. As you can see by the title of the stream, Pochettino asks to leave PSG. It was another night of tossing and turning last night. Literally, Ali Gold coming out with some good quotes and, some other journalists coming out from some publications out in France claiming that Pochettino is desperate to leave PSG and he has asked to leave PSG. But then again, quite reliable journalists on the other side, on the flip side, saying that this is not the case at all. I mean, it's just tossing and turning. Is he coming? Is he not coming? Is he coming? Is he not coming? It's just toing and froing literally every minute, isn't it?
It's doing my head in. If with each positive update, like it seems to be within a couple of minutes, there's a negative update, and it's like, what do we believe? Ali Gold saying Pochettino asked PSG to leave last week. Then sources close to PSG are saying that is absolutely not true that he's asked to leave. So they're just as reliable as each other, these sources. So, I mean, it's very, very difficult to know what is true. What I think is true is I think he probably has said he wants to leave, I reckon that is true. I reckon PSG are trying to save face a bit in saying that he hasn't, and are still trying to convince him to stay. So I think they're playing their cards very close to their chest, PSG. I don't think they're going to come out and admit that Pochettino did ask to leave. But it's still up in the air whether it happens, because I think it still means Poch is going to have to force his way out. There's one thing asking to leave, and there's another thing resigning. They are two different things.
But if you ask to leave, why would they want to keep him?
Because they've just had a manager who, before Pochettino, who has just won the Champions League at Chelsea, Tuchel. And maybe they don't want another bit of upheaval just 6 months into Pochettino's tenure when they know he's a good manager, they know he can be good for the club. And even though right now there are some differences of opinion or whatnot, I don't know what it is behind the scenes, but maybe they might think, look, we really believe in you. We really want you to stay, and we don't want all this upheaval again. Just 6 months after we appointed a new manager.
You can't keep someone against their own will, though.
It depends how badly he wants to leave.
I mean, it seems as though he does want to leave. But if the rumours are this rife, and he's only been at PSG for 6 months, and he's already asked to leave, surely it's got to be fairly bad there, seeing as we know what kind of a guy this Pochettino is.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense in that respect to say, look, if you really want to go, then we'll part ways now, because there's no point in keeping a manager whose heart and soul isn't fully committed, and especially someone like Poch. But they also know that Poch has a lot of respect for PSG. They also know that he's the kind of man who, wherever he's in a job, he'll always put 100% in it. Even if he might be unhappy with a few things, he's always going to give 100% to the job if he's in it. And I think maybe they're still thinking, we can convince him. We can convince him to stay put. And even if he is forced to stay put, he will always have enough respect for PSG to give 100%.
Well, let's go through some of the reports that broke last night. It went wild through French media last night, didn't it? A publication called Liberation. Apparently, they're quite reliable. I've never heard of them before this story, so I can't really comment on that one. But they said Pochettino is keen to finish what he started with Tottenham. Pochettino wants to leave PSG. He has informed them that he wants his contract to be immediately terminated. And that followed on from, and then Alistair Gold followed on from that, saying Pochettino told PSG towards the end of last week that he wanted to leave to return to Tottenham. Spurs still have a tough job to get him away, but there's a real desire from Pochettino to complete his unfinished business at Spurs.
Yeah.
So when you think of those, apparently, I don't know about the French one, but apparently they are quite reliable, and we were talking last night and we were saying like the French media basically took that as gospel. So it seems as though there's like conflicting stories coming out of Tottenham, conflicting stories coming out of PSG, because the ones coming out of Tottenham, seriously, Alistair Gold is pretty much a mouthpiece of the club. So that's where he gets his information. I'm not saying he gets it directly from the club, but indirectly from the club, most probably. So the news that Alistair Gold is saying, that is coming out from the Tottenham section of things. The other news, which we'll get to in a second, is that's coming directly from PSG.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Tottenham wanting one narrative to push the press and PSG wanting another narrative to hit the press.
Of course, and that's the name of the game at the moment, and that's why it's so hard to know what to believe, what's true and what's not. And clearly, I think if there was absolutely no chance that Pochettino was interested, I don't think we would. I think we would have heard that. I don't think the fact that I think that there clearly is some interest from Poch, but even as Alistair Gold said, it's still, even though he wants to leave and even though he's supposedly asked to leave, it's still very difficult. It's still very difficult to get him through, get over the line, because PSG are so adamant they want him to stay. So it's going to be very difficult to get a deal done. Yeah, unless he resigns. And is Pochettino going to resign and will make a public statement?
And then Simon Stone, who's obviously extremely reliable from the BBC, just poured freezing cold water all over those stories last night, and he said PSG are adamant that Pochettino has not asked to leave the club. So he's saying he has not asked to leave whatsoever.
Yeah.
So
which
I mean,
that's what he's hearing from PSG sources, which is probably what they're telling him. Doesn't mean it's true.
And then the Telegraph came out. It was Jason Burt of the Telegraph. He said, unless something very dramatic and unexpected happens, Pochettino will be staying at PSG. And I think it's not right here, but he also went on to say that they're already planning for pre-season. He's planning to be there July the 5th and also to talk about transfers and what have you. And he's planning for transfers and for pre-season at PSG for next season.
And that's what we heard before as well from, I think, Guillaume Balaguer said he's planning for next season already and stuff like that. So, I mean, first of all, however you slice it, Pochettino moving from PSG to Tottenham in any way will be dramatic and what was it saying? Unless something dramatic happens.
And unexpected.
Yeah. So, in any scenario, it's going to be dramatic and unexpected. So I don't think that like that's there's nothing about Pochettino moving to Spurs that won't be dramatic and unexpected. So however it happens, that will be. So I wouldn't matter about that. But has he asked? He's hearing he's also hearing from He said I spoke to PSG sources and they said it's not true. So it's all about, I guess, the counter narratives and the stories. It's a bit of a media war at the moment between the two sides.
It really is. And Fabrizio Romano went on to say, PSG are convinced Pochettino will stay at the club. If Pochettino does not make his desire public to leave, then Tottenham will be looking at alternative candidates should the deal fail to materialise. So it seems as though it's all kind of on Pochettino to make this happen as opposed to anyone else. He's obviously the key factor in it, isn't he?
And it says here, Levy is also considering that. He said that's why Levy is also considering other options. That's what Romano's saying. So it sounds like, according to Romano, Levy might already have one eye on another manager.
But it's also important to note that the odds on Antonio Conte to join Spurs today got slashed big time. It went from like 8s to 3s overnight.
Interesting, but
that could also be narratives played by one of the Tottenham sides in the press to kind of panic PSG a little bit. But how I see this playing out, I personally believe this will happen. I think that it is going to happen. I believe it is going to happen, and I think that it's a game of chess at the moment in the press. And I think as soon as PSG have sorted out a new manager, which I think will be Zidane, as soon as Zidane's sorted out for PSG, they'll announce both on the same day. That's how I think it's going to play out. What's your gut telling you?
I think
it's always going to be drama with Spurs, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's so difficult to know how this is going to play out right now. Is Poch going to come out publicly? Does he need to come out publicly? Which is what everyone's saying. Do I think this is going to happen? My gut keeps telling me no, it's not going to happen. It's too good. It's too good to be true. So that's what my head's telling me. My head's telling me it's still not going to happen.
Really?
So
why are you saying that?
Depends how much PSG budge. Because if they're really not going to budge, I do think Poch has enough respect for them that he'll always do his best for PSG if he stays.
The thing is, I think that with the stories that we've seen in the press, with his relationship with Leonardo, with the way he's unhappy, with the way he's asked to leave, seeming that he's like basically twerking to come back to Tottenham from a team that are in the Champions League regularly, guaranteed 2 or 3 trophies a year. And he's basically coming out, he hasn't said it in the press, but from what we've heard in the stories, that he's basically really wants to come back to Tottenham, a team that who are in the Conference League. It's basically a team, he's choosing trophies. He's choosing love over trophies pretty much to kind of build a project again at Tottenham. And for me, on that, with the way he's kind of managed it at the moment, this situation, he hasn't poured cold water over it at all. Mm-hmm. He's everything that I've just said. I feel that his position at PSG is pretty much untenable. I don't know how he manages PSG next season with the whole of his squad knowing what's going on this summer, with everything that's going on with the board and everything. I can't see how he's managing PSG next season.
Depends how far along you think this is, because from what we understand, it's not that far along just yet. In terms of actually him, even though he might have expressed a desire to leave, he might have. It sounds like he has, and I reckon he probably does. He does want to come back to Spurs, but I just feel like with PSG, it depends how badly he wants to come back. Because PSG might feel like, look, you've got 2 years left in your deal. We're massive fans of you, and we respect you as a manager, and we respect your time here as well. So
it doesn't seem like he respects the setup there, though. If
we want you to stay, we expect you to honour that. And I think if he is forced to stay, I don't think he's the kind of manager to not put his all into managing the team he's at the moment, even if maybe he's not completely happy with how things are set up. I still think he'll feel like there's enough to go with where he can try and imprint his style on that team.
Yeah, but we know full well if your heart is not completely in it, you can say how much it is, or you can say how much you're giving your 100%, but you giving your 100% when your heart's not in it is nowhere near you giving your 100% when your heart is in it. And we all know that. We've seen that with many players over the years. We even saw that with Pochettino in his latter years with Tottenham, he was falling out of love with it. I felt that he wanted to leave, and he was acting differently in the press, and kind of, I think he was a different manager in his last kind of 6 months at Tottenham as he was prior to that. Mm-hmm. And I think that can be said a lot. And a manager like Zidane, who's probably open to taking that PSG job, and he wants that PSG job, I think it's a no-brainer. You've got to take the guy who actually wants to be there. And
we don't know if Zidane wants that.
No, we don't know that, but I'm just saying hypothetically. We've seen a few comments in the press saying that Zidane wants to stay in management, and he's very much looking at the France or the PSG job.
Yeah, from that perspective, it could well happen, and it all depends. It all depends on, because there's one thing expressing a desire to leave, and there's one thing, and then there's another thing forcing your way out. Mm-hmm. Is he going to force his way out? That's the question. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't.
What does forcing your way out consist of? What does he have to do to force his way out?
Make a public statement.
Why can't he do that behind closed doors? Why is it all about going public if he's already expressed his desire
as long as it's behind closed doors, and PSG can always look, unless he's going to go behind closed doors and say, look, I'm not managing this team next season, then PSG can always say, look, he hasn't expressed a desire to leave, he's very happy here, all this kind of stuff. They could always put their own spin on it and kind of make him stay.
I mean, if you are the president of PSG, right, and your manager after 6 months comes up to you and goes, I want to leave, I want to go join a team in the Conference League, I want to go join a team that I got sacked from 18 months ago, or however long it was, 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. A team that, realistically don't win trophies year in, year out. To leave a team like PSG, who are the best team in France, who usually win the league year in, year out, win a minimum of 2 trophies probably a year. Mm-hmm. Surely that's a massive kick in the teeth to the PSG president, and he would think maybe this guy's heart's not in it, and maybe he will eventually let him go.
Yeah, but it's not that simple. It's not as simple to say that Poch is asked to leave, so, that's it, you've kicked me in the teeth, so I might as well let you leave. It's like, there's a negotiation, there's conversations to have, and there's still convincing to be done. So
there's one thing trying to leave to go to like a bigger club, like a Real Madrid or a Barcelona or something like that, but to go back to Tottenham, surely that's a big kick in the teeth to them.
No, I don't think so, because they it's not like they don't know who Spurs are and what Tottenham means to Pochettino. Of course they know that.
But 6 months in.
Huh?
6 months in.
I know. And that's even probably more reason why they could probably convince him to stay. So they'll probably say, look, I know things are not as you might seem right now, but you're only 6 months in. Give us time. Give us a bit more time to improve how we do things. Like, look, I don't know what conversations have been happen behind the scene, but just because he's asked to leave doesn't mean they can't have future conversations, and then they can kind of put their differences aside and work things out. And that is, at the moment, I feel like that is probably more likely than Pochettino forcing his way out. That's how I just see it. I see it's more likely that PSG can sit down with Pochettino and talk through their differences, rather than Pochettino actively sitting down and saying, I'm leaving by any means necessary. That's what I see as more likely right now. Doesn't mean I'm right. That's how I see it.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've just told you how the way I see it, but let me get through a few super chats. First of all, let's welcome a brand new member, Kieran Adair. Welcome to the We Are Tottenham family. We've got a super chat here from Ribsy85 saying, I don't understand why Poch would want to come back. He was sacked. He's at a bigger club. That's a lot of pride swallowing to come back. What would you say to that?
It is, but also he probably feels like he didn't completely finish the job that he started at Tottenham, and is it pride swallowing? I don't think it's pride swallowing. I think if anything, it's pride swallowing for Levy, not for Poch. Because Levy's the one grovelling coming back. Poch is the one that he's got a new shiny job at PSG, and we're trying to come back to him with our kind of tail between our legs, saying, "Look, give us another chance." So
we all know he ain't coming back without assurances. That's for sure, certain.
I don't think it takes a Poch to swallow his pride to come back at all. I think he'll know that we've made a mistake by wanting him back. So I don't think it's anything to do with pride swallowing for Poch.
We got a super chat here from Dark Sun G21 saying PSG with their big egos won't give up easily. And yeah, definitely right there. Definitely right. Newton Olabumi says, we are getting the narrative Levy wants to push. We fall for it all the time. It happens with players every season. Now it's happening with managers. That is also something very key to note, because you're spot on there, absolutely spot on. And also, it's also worth to note that season ticket renewals are up tomorrow. The deadline is tomorrow. So, I mean, you text me last night with these news, and the first thing I text you back, just let's all remember, season ticket renewals are up on the 3rd of June. So I think it is very important to note. And I also texted another one of my mates last night saying, guaranteed on the 4th of June, this deal collapses completely.
Collapses, yeah, probably. Absolutely. Well, you're the one who's saying it's not going to collapse.
I know. I'm contradicting myself. But, I mean, I get fooled by these bloody season ticket renewal rumours every bloody year.
Yeah, I mean, it's classic. It's classic Levy, the Levy playbook, to release a very exciting news just before season ticket renewal day and stuff like that. So,
having said that, I do believe it's going to happen. I really do.
I don't think it's impossible. But I just think it's still very unlikely, and I don't think it's as likely right now as people think it is. It still needs a lot of movement, I think.
I think that Levy gets these obsessions in his head. You know, the new stadium was an obsession. The Mourinho was an obsession, and he gets these things over the line. Sometimes it takes longer than sometimes, but it feels to me that this is one of Levy's obsessions. He really wants to get Poch back, and it feels as though like he's the only one he wants.
He also had an obsession with Bale, and he finally got him back. But it took years. It took years and years of him trying. So it doesn't mean, even though he hasn't won these exceptions, doesn't mean it's going to happen straight away. Yeah.
Completely agree. Let's go to Bob Spur TV super chat. Big up Bob Spur. And he said the only reason people aren't convinced is because of the Levy factor. Same scenario anywhere else would be convinced Poch is coming home. He's coming home. And that's probably right, to be honest. That's probably right.
Well, not necessarily. I think there's just a lot of moving parts right now. And it's hard to know where the pieces are going to fall just yet. I think it's still very early on. As I said, just because right now Poch has said to PSG, look, I'm not happy and I want to leave, doesn't mean that's the last conversation they're going to have on that. You know what I mean? They can still have future conversations where maybe they can somehow put their differences aside. So it's like that still needs to happen, and then he still needs to want to leave after that. So we have to wait and see.
It's a window of opportunity, though, because once we get a manager, we don't know when our manager slot's going to open again as well. So maybe he feels like this is the opportunity now to take it.
He might do.
Dark Sun G21 with a super chat saying maybe Poch can pull an Ancelotti. Well, that's what we need for to happen.
Well, I'm pretty sure they agreed a deal with Everton. I don't think Ancelotti resigned. I'm pretty sure they paid him off with a healthy compensation. But in terms of the Ancelotti one, that was so interesting because literally 2 days ago we didn't hear a peep of anything. Then all of a sudden, within a few hours, he's Madrid manager. And now I would hate to have been yesterday to have been an Everton fan. It must have been so demoralising. You're just like.
Yeah,
where you're just like going through the day and all of a sudden like
staying in my flat at the moment.
I'm just gonna scroll through Twitter like what? We've lost our manager, like out of nowhere. It's just like that must have been heartbreaking for them, especially because Ancelotti, like
he's loved there as well.
Yeah, and it's such a high profile manager for a team who aren't challenging near the top end of the table. And to have lost him so soon and out of nowhere must have been very, very hard to take yesterday for a lot of Everton fans. So I do feel a bit sorry for them.
Yeah, tell me about it. We got Matt Hayes here with a super chat. Big up Matt Hayes as well. And this one is absolutely spot on as well. And he said, people need to stop judging Poch's decision purely on footballing reasons. His wife and son live in London. He's in a hotel in Paris. There's more to it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. That is absolutely right. This isn't based purely on football, 100%. Poch is a man who knows there's more to life than football, and he likes to have relationships with his players, not just about football. He likes to have conversations like man-to-man conversations with his players, not like about. He understands that
he's a life coach as
well. Yeah,
it's
not just about being a footballer with him when you're one of his players. It's about discussing all facets of life and what you're struggling with and all these kind of things. He said that many times. So I think that's absolutely natural. That's going to play into how he thinks about moving forward with his family still in London and everything. And I'm sure the clamour to come back to London is strong, and that's why probably right now he wants to leave. And I have no doubt he does want to come back to Tottenham right now, but I still think there's still a long way to go until we're actually there where he's coming to Tottenham.
Aprendizin says painful rebuild equals no European competitions for the next seasons. How much time would supporters give to Poch even if the results are terrible?
Probably more time than most other managers.
I think that he gets a notable amount of time. I think at least 2 seasons, in my opinion. At least,
yeah. Yeah, for sure. Depends how. Look, obviously, if we're in like a relegation battle, we might.
Obviously.
Yeah, but it depends how bad they're. But I mean, I think there's going to be some leeway with Pochettino when he first comes back, for sure. Absolutely.
All right, we have got 1,400 people watching at the moment. Absolutely monstrous numbers from the We Are Tottenham Army, but only 200 likes. Everyone scroll down and smash that like button and smash that subscribe button as well. Really helps us with the YouTube algorithms as we get on to more news. Let's move away from Pochettino for a minute. Who's this? Santi JFM, who's a journalist for Foot Mercato, and he says Tottenham offered Fabio Paratici the post of sporting director, but the Italian has not decided if he wants to join Tottenham or not. But he obviously just left Juventus. He's got a good reputation about him, made some good signings for Juventus, but did spend a lot of money.
So whether he'll get that money to spend at Spurs is another cause for concern for him before he makes that decision. Obviously, you have to have a lot of frank conversations with Levy in the hierarchy before coming. They were saying that he was going to come with Conte, weren't they?
Yeah.
So whether he'll come without Conte is another thing. So again, it's like we just don't know, do we?
Telegraph Sport broke last night that Pep Guardiola has been given the green light by Man City to pursue Harry Kane. And when I was watching that Champions League final, I knew this was coming. And if they've given the green light to Pep Guardiola, then all I can see is dollar signs lighting up in Daniel Levy's eyes. To be honest, I mean, if they stump up the cash, or they can give us, or they can convince one of their players that wants out to join us, like a Laporte, like who would, like we said, like a Cancelo, we would take.
Oh, apparently they're saying Jesus and Aki.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying. So
I would take
not
Aki.
exactly what. But not exactly like what you feel like would be fair compensation for someone like Kane.
Yeah,
like good players. No, they're not bad players. It's just like when you're losing Harry Kane and you're only getting someone like Aki in return. It's like could be
you
more.
got to get obviously money on top of that as well.
Mm-hmm. I know.
How much is Ake worth, do you reckon, in the market? I know he signed for 40 million, but how much is his real value?
Now he's probably dropped quite a lot. Because
20 million?
Yeah, probably like that.
30 million, maybe? Because he's young still.
Yeah, but he has injury problems, doesn't he? So, and the fact he hasn't played a lot for Man City this season, I think 25 million probably, something like that. In that ballpark you're thinking at the moment.
I would take like 115 million plus Ake or something like that. Easy.
115 plus Aki.
110 million plus Ake. That would be a brilliant deal for us. But I think the deal that we should be looking for is kind of 80 million plus Laporte, something like that.
Then you're paying kind of a 70 million price tag on Laporte.
Yeah.
He is kind of worth that, I guess. Maybe
I think someone like Laporte can come in and completely transform our defence. The guy is top quality. And in the market, you can't sign a defender better than him.
Yeah, true. True, but could we, according to who was it? Who said Laporte's not going to have any interest in coming to Spurs?
Yes, I can't remember which publication said it, but it was said. But we don't know how true that is. But it wouldn't be surprising if he didn't want to join Spurs.
Yeah, why would he? Why would he want to come to Spurs right now when he could easily go to any Champions League club?
Yeah.
So why would he want to come join a team in the Conference League who...
It's just about if he wants to stay in England. But if he wants to stay in England, I mean, he can go to any of the clubs. He'd get into any of the club in any other team in England he gets into.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right now.
So
Liverpool not going to sign him because they've just bolstered up their centre-back with Konate. Chelsea, they seem pretty solid at centre-back. Are they going to be looking to sign another one?
I reckon so.
You reckon?
If someone like Laporte's on offer.
Well, if they go and sign one, then I'll take one of the cast-offs from Chelsea as well.
Yeah, Rudiger or something.
I'll take Rudiger. I'll take Christensen. You know, one of them. I think they're both good centre-backs. I mean, we said last year that we wouldn't take Rudiger.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's proved that he's a top-quality defender under Tuchel.
What's this? 15 seconds ago. Oh, no, that was posted last night from the Telegraph. Tottenham handed body blow to hopes of reappointing Poch, but I wasn't this morning. I was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was. I thought they were saying it was this morning. But yeah, what were we talking about before?
We were talking about Man City. We were talking about Laporte.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance we're getting Laporte.
Yeah, me neither. But it's a nice dream.
I'll take Cancelo though.
Do you reckon Cancelo would join us?
Probably not. No. The only thing I say about Cancelo, no, still not, because he's had such a great season. He's been one of the best left fullbacks in the league. So again, even though for some reason he's not happy, maybe because he ended the season out of the team, I don't know why, but I still can't see Cancelo saying, "All right, I'll drop down from where he is to go join a team in the Conference League." I can't see it right now.
All right, let's move on. El Paradiso de Cope is a publication from Spain. I'm not sure how reliable, but they say Gareth Bale is expected to stay at Real Madrid, which is quite interesting because him and Ancelotti had a really good season together when they won the La Decima, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
So do you reckon Ancelotti coming back to Real Madrid kind of puts more life into the Gareth Bale at Real Madrid for his final year?
Definitely more of a chance. Because obviously they got on well when Bale was manager. Ancelotti brought him in when he was Madrid manager. Although, who knows how much of a say managers get in transfers at Madrid, especially when it's a world record fee like that. But we know that they got on well, so it definitely increases the likelihood that he stays. But we all know the hierarchy at Madrid aren't fans of him, and the fans are a bit toxic with him as well. So I still think it's more likely he leaves than stays, but the likelihood of him staying is definitely increased.
Dark Sun G21 with the super chat saying, I think if Poch comes back, the Conference League is ours. To be honest, I think if Poch comes back, he's going to play a weak team throughout the Conference League, won't he?
He won't care about it, will he? Only because these trophies only to build egos.
Yeah, but I think egos need to be built in this Spurs squad.
Definitely. That's definitely true. Don't have enough egos, probably.
Yeah. What else we got? Let's have a look at what Fabrizio was saying last night. First of all, let's go to Julian Maynard, journalist from Telefoot, saying, due to the complexities of getting Maurizio Pochettino out of PSG, Tottenham are working on other targets, which include Eric Ten Hag. Joe Roden on Gareth Bale's potential retirement. No chance. It's all on Gareth, and I've got nothing to do with that. Don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I think he's basically just saying it's rubbish.
Yeah.
Which I think we all know. We all know he's not going to retire at the end of the season, at the end of the Euros.
Well, Barnett's already come out and said that. Now we're getting to the updates from Fabrizio Romano, who was on Chris Cowlin's last night. Chris Cowlin's channel, and he says Antonio Conte wants to get back into management immediately and would be perfect for what Tottenham wants, but he wants important participation from the club, investment, and go 100% together with the club. I mean, it doesn't. I just keep thinking. I know how good of a manager Antonio Conte is, but I just can't see it working.
Yeah,
I just can't see it.
Me neither. I think it would be. I just feel like as much as again, I'd love to have one of the best coaches in Europe managing Tottenham, and I wouldn't start saying, "Oh, it's a terrible appointment if we appoint him." But I just can see it ending in absolute disaster. Absolute disaster. And I can see tensions being very high between the board and Conte. And I think how are we even going to convince him to come under the conditions we're setting? Let alone when he's in the job, how he would react to the conditions while he's managing. So it's very, very difficult to envisage Conte coming to Tottenham. As much as I all being happy at Tottenham with what he has to work under, as much as I really would love a manager like Conte.
Yeah, I mean, I can see Conte wanting to leave after like the first transfer window, literally.
Honestly, after the summer, he'll be one out
without having a ball kicked. Would that be a record? Not one game.
Probably. I think Bielsa, to be honest, has done that a couple of times with Lazio and Lille.
Matt Hayes saying the William Hill have just reopened the markets on the manager. We'll have to check that out in a second.
Yeah, because apparently they were closed, weren't they?
Yeah.
So
Jack Yu says Ings, Aarons, Botman, Anderson, Sabitzer, Indeed. It's very ambitious.
Indeed.
It's very ambitious.
Very ambitious. I love Indeed, but I don't think there's any possibility Leicester will let him go to us. And I don't think he'll be desperate to come to us right now anyway. So don't think that's a possibility right now either.
Yeah, William Hill have opened the markets, and it's 1-2 for Maurizio Pochettino to join Tottenham. It's 5.5, 9-2. Sorry, 1-2 for Poch to join Tottenham, and 9-2 for Antonio Conte to join Tottenham. And then the next one down is Roberto Martinez at 8. Roberto Martinez making a bit of a return to the top 3.
Seeing like we're running out of options. How many days has it been now since?
It's got to be about 14.
Since Alistair Gold said it will be between a week
he also
to 10 days.
He also said about 10 days before the season ended, we're looking to appoint someone before the season was going to end.
Did he? No, didn't he say it was unlikely?
I thought he said we were looking to sign.
I can't remember.
Maybe it was Romano.
There were two conflicting reports. I remember one said we're going to sign someone before the season ends, and someone else said we're going to wait till the season ends to sign someone. Can't remember who said what.
Dan Kilpatrick said that Harry Kane has described Pochettino as a great friend, but has refused to comment when asked if a return to Spurs would make him more likely to stay.
Yeah, because it won't.
It won't. No, I know, but I think that Pochettino. Do you still trust the Spurs hierarchy to get it right, even with Pochettino there? Spend that Harry Kane money.
It's hard to trust him with any money at the moment, to be honest. So, I mean, no, I don't. But I don't know.
But better with him than without him.
I guess, yeah. at least Poch will hopefully have a say, and he'll have to have a say if he's coming back. You have to think. Yes, there's a few quotes here in that article. He said,
Which article?
From the Dan Kilpatrick one. He says he was the boss, he was the leader, the one that set the standards in how we played and how we trained. So friendship would never get in the way of what he did on the footballing side of things, but we became friends in that things we did and talked about went beyond football. He said with his relationship with Harry Kane. With Kane's relationship with Pochettino, that is. And Kane even said he was supporting PSG in the Champions League up until they went out. And
so was I.
got knocked out. Yeah, to be honest, we all were. We all were. To be fair, he wasn't alone in that one. But yeah, so Kane being asked about it, but he doesn't indicate whether it's close or he knows anything or whether he'll stay if Poch comes. So
it's interesting they're talking about it, though, isn't it?
It's because he was asked about it.
Yeah, fair enough. Bob Spur TV saying Conte to join knowing that he was second choice? Nope. And yeah, I kind of feel the same way about it, to be honest. And who's this one from? Alex D saying, we did not have a clue what manager we wanted after sacking Jose Mourinho. 44 days without a manager appointed is unacceptable. Actually, 45 days now, I believe.
45 and counting.
Yeah.
Might get longer before we find
What happened?
someone.
It's the 2nd of June today, so we're looking for some confirmation today, aren't we?
Yeah, so didn't someone say 2nd of June?
Yeah, that Twitter account.
Yeah. I don't think. I think it is pretty unacceptable that we've kind of sacked Mourinho with no plan in place, and now we're just sitting here, like scrambling around for old flames, basically, not knowing what we're doing, and like just
please come back.
Honestly, that's what it's like at the moment. It's a bit of a joke, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it feels like he doesn't want anyone but Poch as well. It's like...
Yeah, but if you're putting all the eggs in the Poch basket, then all of a sudden it's like... if it doesn't work out, then what do we do? We're left with nothing.
Yeah.
And we'll start from square one again.
Yeah. It's a difficult situation, it is. But I think there's going to be a happy ending to this one.
I hope you're right. I've got a feeling it might not be to the whole Poch saga. I hope you're right.
If we don't get Poch, who do you think we will get? Because it won't be Conte.
I don't think it'll be Conte either.
Conte. I'm thinking if we don't get Poch, I reckon we'll probably end up with a Ten Hag.
Yeah, but again, it's going to cost a lot of money to get Ten Hag in after he was...
It'll cost more to get Poch than Ten Hag.
That's for sure. Of course it would, but Poch is worth the money. Is Ten Hag worth the money? We don't know.
Yeah.
And do you see this one from Julian Maynard?
Yeah, I read that out.
You read that out earlier.
Yeah, I read that out, and it kind of ties into Telefoot, who said that Tottenham are continuing to work towards appointing Ten Hag due to the difficulties in recruiting Pochettino.
Yeah, I think Julian Maynard works for Telefoot.
Right,
yeah,
so that makes sense then, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
This is an interesting one. The Evening Standard saying Tottenham have shown interest in Zeki Celik, obviously the Lille right back. He would cost around 15 million euros and is expected to move this summer. It looks like Lille are having a bit of a fire sale this summer, isn't it?
Yeah, they're selling a few players, although apparently Botman is expected to stay. But after winning the league, they've lost their manager.
Sumare.
Yeah, and Sumare is going to Leicester. So sounds like it's one of those. It's like when Monaco won. It's like when Monaco got to they won the league and got to the semi-finals of the Champions League. They got raided. When Ajax got to the semi-finals, they got raided. Sounds like the same thing's happening with Lille.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. So is there anyone else from Lille that you would take, apart from Zeki Celik?
A couple of their strikers are pretty well. I know Birek Yilmaz is old, but the other guy,
he's had a mad season, though.
He's had a mad season. He's been class. But the other guy,
how old is he? Like 33, 34 or something.
35, I think.
35.
Yeah,
wow.
He's really old. So
outscored Neymar or something.
Yeah, he had a great season. But I think what's his name? Ibrahim David. Is it David? I think
Jonathan David.
Jonathan David. He's quite good. I quite like the look of him. Obviously, Mike Maignan's also another one who's left. But I did like the look of Maignan as well. And then Obviously, Sven Botman I like, but whether he's attainable this summer, apparently they're set to keep him. So,
But surely if they're doing this fire sale, Botman's going to be looking around being like, what am I still doing here?
probably.
So if it's not this summer, he'll definitely want to leave next summer. I think because, you know, with this fire sale, you're going to expect that they're going to have a bad season next year.
That's usually how it works, isn't it? Teams, but then again, you know, teams like Brentford, they keep selling their best players and keep recruiting well. Like if they depends how you recruit, because it depends what you do with the money. But if, to be fair, if they're really in financial trouble, then it does sounds like they're not going to have much, not going to use that much money to buy new players.
Yeah. It's interesting that there are a lot of like nobody's coming out when asked and saying they're staying at Tottenham next season. Everyone's like, look, let's talk about my future after the Euros.
Everyone.
Nobody's
Doesn't
saying I'm
matter who
staying
it
at
is.
Tottenham.
Yeah.
And that ties in with Moussa Sissoko, and his quotes was it's been reported by that French footballing Twitter, you know, GFFN. Who is that?
Get French football news or something.
Yeah. But they're saying that, well, he's saying that this is my 5th year at the club and I have had some very good moments. Now I'm a person who does not close any doors. If a new challenge presents itself, we will see what I do. But today, I do not close any doors. I want to see what the club will decide. Maybe they'll say, Moussa, it's time for you to go. Maybe they'll say, Moussa, it's time for you to stay.
Moussa, it's time for you to go.
In any case, I'm open to all propositions today. I mean, it doesn't sound like a man that's intending to stay. And Hugo Lloris was talking and he says, I will answer these questions once the Euros is over. So he's obviously thinking about leaving as well. And Gareth Bale as well. He's pretty much saying the same thing. So all these players coming out, and as well, that follows on from the Aurier comments. So, I mean, it is called coming out from the French players or the French-speaking players, or the La Mafia.
La Mafia.
We like to call them, but...
They haven't asked Ndombele, have they?
No. Because Ndombele is not on international duty.
Exactly.
He's probably far away in like a beach or something.
Well, there was another one of these Instagram things where with Ndombele doing a live and someone wrote, touch your hat if Poch is coming back, and he was touching his hat. But and he was also saying something about Lo Celso, but I don't speak French, so I don't really know what he was saying. But look, I think it makes sense for all the players we've heard from, to be fair, Aurier, Sissoko, that we kind of want them to go. So
it's making our rebuild that much bit easier.
And hopefully people come in for him and we can get them out the door as soon as possible, because we need to start thinking about next season quickly. But then again, right now we don't have a bloody manager, so it's hard to know how we can start moving in the right direction before we have someone at the helm who knows what direction we want to go in. Right now we're a bit aimless. So it's hard to talk about transfers, ins and outs, before we actually get someone in who has a plan and we can actually back this guy with his plan.
Very, very true. There are some super chats to get through. I'm just trying to find the first one. That's Bob Spur. I read that one. And Alex D. No, I've read that one.
Newton Olbunmi.
Yeah.
Says PL is not kind to Dutch coaches, hence I worry for Ten Hag. That's actually not a bad shout.
But Martin Jol was all right.
Yeah, that's true. But, you know, Van Gaal, Koeman, bit hit and miss when it's in their times.
Frank de Boer.
Frank de Boer was a massive miss.
Ruud Gullit.
Ruud Gullit at Chelsea? I don't know how well he did. He was player manager here, wasn't he?
Well, then he moved over just manager, I believe.
Just manager.
We got a new member, Josh. Just Josh. So welcome to the family, Josh. It's really good to have you. The We Are Tottenham family is growing every day. Absolutely loving it. But we've got 1,600 viewers, Sim. Wow. 440 likes. Everyone just scroll down and smash that like button. If you want us to react to any of your comments, do send it in a super chat and we will be reacting straight away. Is there anything to get through on Twitter?
Blake Darcy as well says, you guys butcher every name. It's Indeedy. What did we say?
Indeedy.
All right, fair enough. Send us in tweets so we can react to it live on the show. There are a few, actually. People have been tagging us, so one sec.
Quotes from Pep Guardiola here.
It's not from Pep, actually. It's from the chairman.
Sheikh Mansour.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's saying that...
No, from Khaldun Al-Mubarak.
And he's saying we will bring in quality into the squad in a couple of key positions. Sergio Aguero will be replaced with the right player, and Manchester City will not sit back in the summer transfer window. So that's a pretty strong statement.
Yeah, and that makes complete sense. We all know that he's obviously joined Barcelona. They needed a striker. I think the one thing in the final I think they were missing was probably a presence up front to really shake things up with the Chelsea back four. And Kane would have been perfect for that.
If you're the Man City hierarchy now, including Pep Guardiola, are you looking at Harry Kane or are you looking at Erling Haaland?
I think you're looking at Haaland, but if he's not attainable, then Kane. I think Kane. Look, if you sign Kane now, you could easily have him for 5 years at least,
and you can still get Haaland
and
after
you can still
that.
get Haaland. So, I think obviously Haaland makes more financial sense just because he's younger and the price difference won't be that great. But Kane can obviously win you a bucket load of trophies as well. So it could go either or if Haaland's not attainable this summer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he is, to be honest. I think he does want to stay there for one more year, doesn't he?
That's what it sounds like.
We got a tweet here from ALSD18, and he's just bringing up those quotes I just gave you, and he says, Man City chairman speaking, they'll be definitely go out all out for Kane. I'll take 60 million plus Ake and Jesus. Everyone says, why should PSG keep Poch if he doesn't want to be there? It's similar for Kane.
It's similar, but I think in both situations they could be forced to stay. I think. And so I don't think it's that simple. I wouldn't take 60 million plus Ake and Jesus. I don't think that's a good enough deal for Tottenham. I think 60 million is enough money.
How much is Jesus worth? 40 million?
Something like, yeah.
40. We said Ake's 25, 65.
So that's 125 million.
Yeah.
Need a bit more.
I'd agree with that.
Alex _Allen66 says PSG are desperately trying to make Poch out to be as a bad guy by making it seem like when says he wants to leave publicly, it's out of the blue. Also strange how the rumours are scheduled. As soon as reports come out in favour of Spurs, they're almost instantly shut down.
It's so true. It's so true. Every single rumour, every time I've seen a positive thing about Pochettino, a few seconds later, it's just stamped down.
Immediately.
It's got to be a tactic from PSG. I'm telling you, PSG are playing a game of chess here. And also, these French clubs like to do these funny games in the media. Every time we sign someone from Lyon, the night before we sign them, Orlas from Lyon comes out and goes, oh, this isn't happening, it's nowhere near. And then a few hours later, they're signed. These French clubs love to play these games.
Well, it's difficult to put like all French clubs in the same bracket, all different. We know all this is different to the PSG kind of people, but I know what you mean. They definitely, sometimes it's what chairmen say is not all definitely accurate to what the reality is.
Yeah.
Dylan Southerly says, do you think we need a real central attacking midfielder, or can Lo Celso fill the role, or can Ndombele do it, as they would both need to massively improve their goals and assists?
Yeah, I mean, I do think we need someone else up there. But if Poch comes back, do you...
But then we have Dele as well, though.
That's what I was saying. If Poch comes back, do you back him to get the best out of Dele again? Although it did fall out with Poch.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult.
But that wasn't... I don't know if you can just put your finger on Dele there, because, you know, a lot of the squad, it was just going stale in that squad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You can't just put it all on Dele.
Obviously, look, it's not... You can't, but when it's been 3 years now, maybe you can. You know what I mean? It's been so long where... Kane didn't have a problem maintaining his standards. Yeah. You know what I mean? So why has Dele had such a big problem maintaining his standards?
Yeah, true. Matthew Nellis, welcome to Gold, a brand new member. Welcome to the We Are Tottenham family. Absolutely loving it. And we've got a super chat here from Jerome Cloridor saying, would you guys take Sterling and Jesus in a swap deal for Harry Kane?
Straight swap? No.
Sterling, me neither.
Sterling's probably in this current market still around 60, 70 million.
Yeah.
So, plus Jesus, that's about 110 million. So, 110 million, you're still looking for a bit more, I think.
Mm-hmm.
50 million plus Sterling and Jesus. I'll take that.
50 million plus Sterling and Jesus.
Mm.
Okay. Go on. What else have we got on Twitter?
Dwarka Krishna says, thoughts on this? And he's tagged us in a Premier League panel tweet. Says, net spends since June 2016. And where are we? We are behind Wolves. Behind Wolves, Villa and Everton, 204 million. But then again, we're above Liverpool. We're above West Ham. Above Leicester. So we're kind of in the middle. We're not the lowest, but also not the highest.
We're above Liverpool in net spend.
Yeah, because of Coutinho, isn't it? They got all that big money for Coutinho. That was the big one they got.
Barca are regretting that. Bloody 200 million on Coutinho.
About 140, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's mad.
Shocking, absolutely shocking.
And he scored more goals against them than he did to get for them in the Champions League anyway.
Yeah, he did, I think. But in terms of
he won the Champions League with Bayern, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he scored against them in the semis.
He scored 2, I think.
Yeah. Jory with the super chat. Big up Jory, the Jorical. And he says, no money, Cancelo and Laporte for Kane.
No money, Cancelo and Laporte. Just Cancelo and Laporte? No, that's not enough.
It's not. How much are they both worth? We said Laporte, 60 million, let's say.
Well, they signed him for 50, so it's about 65, yeah.
Yeah, 65. All right, let's say 70 for argument's sake. And Cancelo, 40 million?
Yeah. So still need. I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, need about 30 more million.
And also, if you'll just imagine swapping no Kane, no money, just Cancelo and Laporte, and then we're screwed for a striker.
How about Cancelo, Laporte, and Jesus?
I'd consider that.
I would as well. There's 3 quality players. Still need to bring in another striker on top of that.
Still need quite a bit.
If we were to bring in a Gabriel Jesus, what kind of striker, what type of striker would we be looking to bring in?
I think a more physical one, a striker who a bit of a target man,
like a Weghorst,
something like that. Yeah, to partner Jesus.
Is that good enough to go into a season with Weghorst and Jesus?
I mean, probably not.
Yeah,
but it's probably not good enough, but. We could be in a worse position than that. That's for sure.
In terms of Ivan Toney, where would he fall into? What kind of striker would he? What category would he fall into?
He's kind of a bit of a complete striker. Yeah. Ivan Toney. He's not. He's quick. He's strong. He's a good finisher. He can run. He can like to run in behind as well. His hold-up play is also pretty good. So
see, he's one I would really like to sign.
I like Ivan Toney. I do like Ivan Toney, and he's also a bit raw. So because he's only just come up from the League One to the Championship, and he's killed it in both divisions, he's kind of like, if he comes to the Premier League and we sign him, he's kind of a bit of a, I wouldn't say unknown quantity, but there's a bit of unpredictability about it. So he could catch
similar
a lot
to
of
Watkins,
people. Yeah, could catch a lot of people off guard. So I think he could definitely be one to consider, Ivan Toney.
I think we should be considering him heavily. How much do you reckon he's gettable for?
Well, they sold Watkins for 28, so I'm guessing similar price.
How much did they sign him for, Ivan Toney?
I believe it wasn't.
He's only been there 1 year.
Yeah,
hasn't
but
he?
I believe it wasn't. It wasn't a small fee. Like, it was actually for a championship club. If I remember rightly, it was actually pretty significant.
I'd actually prefer us to get an Ivan Toney than a Gabriel Jesus.
10 million.
10 mil. That's a lot of money for Peterborough.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. So you would
say
if
5 million plus 10 million in add-on, so it could even be up to 15 million.
Right. And I'm guessing they've been promoted in his first year, so I'm guessing that's heavily part of the add-ons. Obviously, I don't know.
Probably, maybe one of the clauses. Yeah, probably.
We've got a new member, Alex D. Welcome to the We Are Tottenham family, my friend. The members flying in today.
Welcome, Alex D. Clinton Buraganza said, thanks for the great content day in day out. I reckon that you'll will become a top fan channel in the near future. Also, fingers crossed.
What do you mean become?
For Poch.
What do you mean become? Are we not a great fan channel already?
He said become. Bastard. No, I'm joking. Thank you, Clinton. Thank you, Clinton. Much appreciated. Jay says, in my opinion, I think we should let Conte spend the Kane money and let him do his magic, get us back to where we need to be, then go and get Poch back. I personally think if we get him this season, it'll be too soon.
Do you think if Conte comes to Spurs, then he can bring Lukaku with him with the Kane money? Because obviously they had a mad good relationship this year.
I think, yeah, I guess there's not many better options than Lukaku, is there? I'll definitely take Lukaku to replace Kane if.
I think he's put himself up there on a pedestal with the great strikers in the world at the moment.
Yeah, he's been brilliant this season, absolutely brilliant.
I think when you talk about Kane and Haaland, the two best strikers, and Lewandowski, the three best strikers in the world, Lukaku's the fourth.
Yeah, I think he's proved a lot of people wrong from his time at Man United. I completely agree with that. Do I think he comes?
Look, I'm not saying he does come, but I think that Conte could...
I'll definitely want him to come.
Yeah.
I guess Conte could help with that. But
Chelsea
still,
apparently
he's a league winner, Champions League football. Would you want to make that step down? It's unlikely.
Yeah.
It's unlikely. Especially now he's 28 as well, so he's not that young. So he definitely want to... Would he want to spend...
a year older than Kane or same year as Kane?
1 year older. So would he want to spend a few years, not fighting for titles potentially and not being in Champions League? Probably not.
Josh Bonner says, thoughts on Tariq Lamptey when he is fully fit?
Big fan of Tariq Lamptey. Big fan.
Lamptey or Aarons? Who would you prefer?
I think... Who do I prefer? Tariq Lamptey. They're very similar. Very similar. Who do I prefer? I think... It's a tough one. I'd probably just shade Aarons. But it's close. I think Aarons has a bit more about him physically than Lamptey. But it's
You're saying Aarons?
Yeah, just.
I want to know what you guys think. Who is a better right back, and who would you prefer us to sign this summer? Tariq Lamptey or Max Aarons? Spam the chat. Just write Aarons or Lamptey, because I really want to know, because I can't really split the two. It's hard to split the two as well when Lamptey's been in the...
He would say Lamptey has Premier League experience, but so does Aarons.
1 year, yeah, and Lamptey's only had 1 year as well, so... it's interesting. It is an interesting one. I mean, I've been very much impressed with... I'm more impressed with Lamptey this year at Brighton than I was with Aarons.
He's been great this year, Lamptey.
I mean, it's a...
But then again, Lamptey has more injury problems than Aarons.
Yeah. Is it not a different level, Lamptey's performance this year in the Premier League, than Aarons the year before?
I think Aarons, even though I know Norwich got relegated, but I don't think it's that different, no. Because Aarons was actually really good.
Yeah, he was. Got a super chat here from Essa saying, big up the boys. Thank you very much.
Big up to you, Essa. Big up to you.
Very much.
We'll be tagged in here.
It is very split in the comments, I'm telling you. It's like nearly here 50-50. Matt Hayes is going Aarons. But there are still a lot for Lamptey.
I feel like if Aarons... Like if he had... I know Farke's a good coach and he's done well with Norwich, but like if he was in... maybe a higher quality side, we'll see an even better version. Just like I think with Lamptey, with more time and more better coaching with Potter, I think he's become a much better player. I think we could see the same with Aarons. So I think Aarons has been really solid.
And if Poch does come in, we know how he likes to develop fullbacks.
He does. All the fullbacks always seem to get better under Poch. Every fullback we get. So that's definitely something of note. Elan Rothsberg on the Twitter says, lads, I think it's Kane's time to leave. Realistically, we're not winning anything in this transitional period and we'll be holding him back. Let's focus all our resources and efforts on a rebuild and get back to winning ways and maybe earn some silverware. Yeah, I mean, it's true, but whether timing is everything in football, whether the timing will allow him to leave is another issue. Ben Thornbury says, is selling Aurier and Sissoko actually a positive? Probably means we won't sell Winks or Doherty, who aren't as good and worth more, especially Winks. Also means need to sign a replacement right back, which won't be cheap. We need, yeah, I mean, I actually agree with that. Not that it's not a positive, but I don't think we're going to be selling all these players. I think we're going to have to kind of pick our battles this summer. So I do kind of agree. If we sell Aurier and Sissoko, it probably means Wink and Doherty are staying, which I agree with. But you got to just sometimes. I know I get that. But we can only do so much. So I think it is a positive because these players do need to leave anyway. So I think in that sense it is a positive.
Show that one. That's how we're going to announce. That's how we're going to announce Pochettino coming home. He's already written it on the board.
Oh, what this? Tagged by Alex Spurs. Players are just going to walk in one day and see that on the board. Brilliant. Love it, Alex. Love it, Alex. What's this? Oh, all these tweets are flying in now. Kieran Singleton. From yesterday's show, Stevie B is so underrated. I believe people dismissed him because he does not play like the old Delhi. Keep.
Stevie B? Yeah, I mean, I've said it for a while that we need to keep Stevie B. And I think he shows attributes even though he doesn't get on the score sheet.
I agree. I think we'll be letting go too soon. Josifa says, I heard that there is a problem with one of the sporting directors in PSG with Poch. Also, one has to go because of the seriousness of the situation. Not really related, but since I've heard we're linked with a cam in Frankfurt called Kamada. He's amazing. I don't know much about Kamada, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I have heard about these rumours about Poch not getting on with the sporting director Leonardo. So that's apparently one of the main sticking points about him wanting to leave. So
yeah, apparently it's beyond repair, their relationship. Some reports are saying, and I think it's a problem that other managers have had in the past as well. So it's not beyond all realms of possibility, is it?
Nope.
Brand new member Jonathan Anastasi, welcome to the We Are Tottenham family. We really are flying in today. Absolutely brilliant.
Jay says 70 million plus Ake and Mahrez.
70 million plus Ake and Mahrez, yes. I would take that.
70 plus Ake and Mahrez. So then we still need to go big on a striker.
Yeah.
And the Mahrez is 30, remember? Although Ake still has
Mahrez is top quality, man.
Here's an announcement. The PFA Player of the Year nominees have been announced.
Didn't we announce that yesterday?
That was the Premier League Player of the Year, not PFA.
Okay.
The PFA Player of the Year nominees are Bruno Fernandes, Harry Kane, Ilkay Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden and Ruben Diaz. So Bruno, Kane and 4 Man City players. For PFA Player of the Year.
So this is the one that the players vote for.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon Kane will win this one. And I reckon Diaz might win the fans one. What do you reckon?
I reckon Bruno might win the fans
one. Sorry. Yeah, you're probably right. Danny Kiriakou with the tweet is going, would you take this as a second right-back option if we get rid of Doherty, talking about Zeki Celik? By the way, did you hear about this Onana moving to Arsenal?
Yeah, from
Romano.
Apparently
they're gonna sign him for a very much reduced fee, but with a drugs ban.
Because he's banned till February-ish.
So classic Arsenal.
Well, we could be getting a good manager though.
A good keeper.
It could be sorry. It could be getting a good keeper because he's been pretty good. So even if they have to wait for him to play, it could be worth it in that sense. I remember, for example, I know it's different, but Barca signed Suarez when he had a 15 match ban for biting. They still signed him because they know when he gets back he's going to be an unbelievable player. So it could be worth it if he's a reduced fee and then you just play
I don't think
someone
you
else.
can put Onana on that kind of pedestal or that level though. I don't even rate Onana that highly as a keeper. I think he's good, but I don't think he's an amazing keeper.
Yeah, but if he's good enough, it's worth. If he's good enough, it's worth the wait.
Is he good enough though? That's the question.
Don't know. I think, he's good. I do think he's good. Do I think he's better than Leno? Leno hasn't had a great season, that's the thing. But Onana can also be a bit dodgy sometimes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I think that I think Martinez is better than both. Better than Onana and Leno. That's what I think.
Yeah, they let him go, didn't they? I think Onana. I'm just saying. I think Onana's a good keeper, and
the source has said it. The source has said it. It's a 6 p.m. announcement today.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. If it's announced at 6 p.m. today, this guy will go down in infamy. He'll be this guy.
The thing is, though, this guy's updates on Pochettino have been actually really good. I've been following them.
You've been hoodwinked, mate.
I know I have, but like they're actually really good.
He doesn't know anything, this guy. He probably just says 100 things and deletes whatever doesn't happen.
No, he hasn't been doing that. Not for Pochettino stuff anyway.
I've seen other tweets where he said, like, this guy's definitely going to be manager, and it was just nowhere near. You know
I haven't seen any of that, but I've just been following his stuff on Pochettino, and it's all seemed to be like he says something and then stuff breaks in the press. It's been weird.
I don't know. I wouldn't believe it.
I'm not saying I believe it. I'm just saying it's weird.
I just think he probably makes 100 predictions and then some of them probably come off.
I don't think it's like that, to be honest. He's been saying Pochettino is done for ages. And then he said a few days before all the asked to leave bullshit were coming out, he said that's going to happen. He's been saying it all. And then someone tried to fake his account and said that Pochettino deals off, but that actually wasn't him.
Well, we'll see. I don't know.
Look, I'm not saying he's legit, and I'm not saying he's the guy he's claiming to be, but his updates on Pochettino have been good. Josh Bonner is saying quality versus confidence. Leeds players aren't world class, but they play confident football. Are our players not good enough or not confident enough? It's a very good point, and I think our players are not confident enough.
Bit of both, I think. I think it's both. I think you need quality to match your confidence in a way.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And so I think confidence will only take you so much. You need the quality on top of that. And I think under Poch, the players were a lot more confident at their peak, which they were surpassing maybe a lot of their quality, but only got them so far. So I think at the moment, we're definitely suffering from a crisis of confidence that's hurting them. But there is also a definite lack of quality that they can't fall back on.
Yeah. Brand new member, another new member, UK Jae-jung. Welcome to the family again, and another new member. Absolutely humbled by all the support today.
Wow, so many members today.
And we got a super chat here from Matteo Moret saying the secret prem is spot on, at least with Poch. And that's exactly what I was saying. I mean, he's called the Poch thing throughout the whole saga for the last couple of weeks. So I actually think he's I don't know whether it's guesswork or not. He's been right. And brand new member as well, Tatum Peter. Welcome to Silver, another new member. Absolutely brilliant stuff. What else have we got here? Anything on Twitter coming through?
Yeah, a few things. I'm just trying to see. Oh, what's this? Another super chat here from Presario Computer says both are good right backs. Both have excellent pace, yet I prefer Aaron's. He's almost the same height as Kyle Walker, only needing a little bit of bulking up. Oh, he's taller than I thought, is he? I thought it was a bit shorter, Max Aaron's.
Why? How tall is he? 5'10".
Yeah. He's about 5'10", apparently. I don't know. So what happens if at 6 p.m. it's not announced? Then what?
Then this guy gets unfollowed by everyone.
He gets unfollowed by everyone.
What else could happen?
I don't know.
We all go out looking for him with the daggers.
What's he said exactly?
What's he said? I mean, he's been giving constant updates on it.
Yeah, but like specific updates or just like it's happening or something?
He's been saying like, Poch is asked to leave. He's been saying, look, I'll go through it if you want. Need to find his account again.
We'll have to wait and see. All these accounts, sometimes he has some things right. Doesn't mean they actually know anything.
Yeah, of course. But he seems to be getting a lot of love on Twitter.
So did Prem Transfer Man.
Yeah, that's true. Look, I'm not trying to validate him at all.
Sounds like you are.
I know, it sounds like I am. I'm not saying, I don't know. I haven't been reading any of his updates apart from Pochettino because when you see these accounts, you're automatically very skeptical, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Straight away. I've been exactly the same. I've been skeptical throughout, but I've been a few things about Pochettino that have aligned with the press. So I don't know.
It depends who you ask, because obviously some people saying he has asked to leave and some people saying he isn't. So I don't know. You can go look at it either way.
Yeah, very true.
Little Miss Spurs says, "Great content, lads. If we miss out on Poch and Conte, you both have a choice: Martinez, Klinsmann, Joachim Love. Keep up the good work."
This source guy, the secret Prem guy, tweeted yesterday saying, "Wonder why Alistair Gold has taken a few days off. Tottenham fans love boy. Coincidentally takes days off when fans need answers. He took a day off when Jose got sacked, and now the Pochettino return. And you guys believe it's all just coincidence. Honestly, you make me laugh. We all know what's coming."
It is just coincidence. It is, though. Some things always happen when Alistair Gold takes a day off.
Huh?
We all know that.
What?
Whenever Alistair Gold takes a day off, something happens.
That's what I'm saying. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, no, but it is a coincidence.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure. Why would you want to take a day off when you know something's happening?
Because he's gathering the news, and then when it bangs, he's there for the content. He's always there when it breaks, even when he's day off or not.
Surely it's better to be working when you.
He is working, but he's telling everyone there's a day off.
Maybe, I don't know. Who would you rather, Martinez, Klinsmann, or Joachim Low?
Martinez, Klinsmann, or Joachim Low? Don't want any of them. But if I had to choose, I'd probably take the nose picker.
Yeah, me too, unfortunately. Thank you for the question, Little Miss Spurs. All right. Essa says, "It's getting to the point where it's actually embarrassing we haven't signed a manager yet. This might cause us to miss signing opportunities this summer." Absolutely right. Absolutely right. The longer we go on, the harder it is to plan for next season. And it's a bit of a joke.
On May the 31st, this secret Prem guy said Everton will look at Eddie Howe if Ancelotti goes to Real Madrid.
On May the 31st. That was a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was slight rumours then.
I didn't hear any rumours the day
before. Yeah, there
were
yesterday.
From
El Chigrito.
Oh, there was?
Yeah, there were.
Oh, okay.
In
the mud then. Get in the mud, secret Prem.
Danny Kiriakis says, "Onana to Arsenal depends on this." What's this? Onana turned a positive doping test at the end of 2020, which was a result of him accidentally taking a pill for his wife that he thought was aspirin. That pill contained a banned substance. Onana was able to convey this story, and he asked the CS to remove his sentence, or at least sentence to shorten the 12 months imposed. Oh, I see. So they might shorten it, and that could depend on that. I guess we'll see.
If Poch signs by 6 p.m. tonight.
Look, if Poch signs, if there's a 6 p.m. announcement today, I take everything back. I'll take it all back.
It's probably if he signs at 6 p.m. tonight, it's probably still coincidence.
Danny Kiraku says, "This reminds me of the guy last season with Skriniar.
It does.
That had everyone hooked. Look
true.
what happened. I think it's the same guy, probably.
Probably is the same guy."
Jed says, "If we can't get Poch and we get Conte, do you think it'll work, or we'll see another Mourinho situation?" Yeah, we've spoken about that. I do think it'll probably be another. I think it's a bit lazy just say because Mourinho and it'll be another Mourinho, but just we have to look at what Conte is, and Conte's not one to hold back on the owners of the club if he's not happy. So that's what I think. I think it wouldn't end well at all.
Mm-hmm. Have you read these super chats?
No, I haven't.
Well, there's just one from Presario Computer saying...
Oh, I read that one.
Oh, you read that one. Yeah.
And
6 p.m. people. Everyone is getting
Dominic
hyped up for 6 p.m.
Dominic Hooks says, "What if we get Poch and it doesn't work and we fire him? How sad will that be? I think we should get another manager." It's already sad.
Yeah, but imagine if it works. Mm-hmm. What a story that is.
That'd be amazing.
It's worth it just for the romanticness.
Matt Hayes says the source has deleted his tweet about the 6 p.m. announcement.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's now 7 p.m. someone said. The source deleted his tweet. There you go.
Oh, he commented why he deleted his tweet.
Why
he
did
said
he
why.
it?
Deleted previous tweet. I have received lots of different timings. Therefore, I'm not going to stick my head out with a time. All I know is the announcement is today, and it will be before 10 p.m.
Before 10 p.m. Right. And then he'll probably...
he hasn't deleted it, though. It's still there.
He'll probably put another... Yeah, you probably click on it. It says if your tweet is deleted. It happens all the time. There you go. He'll probably put another update later today saying, after there's no announcement, saying, "Oh, sorry, the announcement's been delayed," or something. All these people know what they're doing.
Oh god, I've just been quoted on, and Secret Prem has retweeted it.
You've been quoted
He
saying
said,
what?
"We are Tottenham so far. Whatever." Oh no, he's just atting us.
Who's atting us?
This Hiraz F saying, "At We Are Tottenham so far. Whatever Secret Prem has said on Poch has been accurate, and has been the one saying it first before many other reputed sources. Moreover, he has gotten other stuff right before the rest as well, thus far."
Yeah. We'll see. Craig Silver says, regardless of Kane to City, why would any City player want to move the other way? Only for game time, and if they feel like they can't get a much better club than Spurs, then we could possibly get them. But other than that, you're right. They probably wouldn't be. Gain says, for the homegrown rule, buy Aarons, Lamptey and Ivan Toney. Keep, skip Sessegnon, Hart, Dele, Tanganga and Scarlett. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. I think those signings are good. And I think all those players you said to keep, apart from maybe Hart and Dele, who if we get like offers for them, I would keep all of them. So
remind me of the players.
Sign Aarons or Lamptey and Toney, and then skip Sessegnon, Hart, Dele, Tanganga and Scarlett.
Yeah, why not? We wouldn't want any of those players to leave anyway, would we?
No. Aaron says, a director of football is just as important as a manager. Someone like Rangnick can help the rebuild with his transfer knowledge. Absolutely spot on. But we can't, are we going to, we need a director of football to work with the manager. So is there any point getting a director of football, then letting him make all the decisions, and then getting a manager in after that? And then it's like, well, these aren't the kind of players.
They need to work. They need to work together. You need to bring in a manager and a director of football together that kind of already know each other or are willing to work with each other.
It's better to have a manager first than before director of football, than bring in director of football first.
Unless the director of football is bringing in his own manager.
Which is not usually how it works. JD says, I'm here to help Levy. Here's his team for next season.
Bailey Jones saying, Alistair Gold isn't working because he is the secret sauce.
Imagine if it was Alistair Gold. That would be genius. Here is this guy's with Poch at the helm. He's got Hugo in goal. A back four of Lamptey, Anderson, Toby and Reguilon. Midfield of Højbjerg, Ndombele and Sabitzer, with Son, Adama Traore and Gabriel Jesus up front. With Weghorst as backup striker, bring back Bale, Japhet Tanganga back up right back, and Nathan Ake back up to Toby. Not a terrible team.
Do you think if Poch does end up coming, that Toby will be sold this summer? Or
definitely increases the chances, because apparently he wanted him sold before he left.
And Dier
as well.
I'm just praying for Roma to come in for Dier.
Yeah, I agree.
There was a report yesterday. I can't remember who it was from. I can't really find it at the moment, so it can't be that reliable. But they were saying some sort of swap deal with Eric Dier and Zaniolo.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, right. Of course. Tangay Season says, would you take Anguissa at Fulham? Watched a lot of Fulham games this season. He's really impressed me. He's actually good, Anguissa. But whether he's the right fit for what we need right now, I'm not so sure. Like he's basically a not as good version of Ndombele. So
Anguissa,
yeah. So is he the right fit for what we need? Probably not. We need someone with a bit more steel.
For the squad, though.
I'd rather a Basuma.
Yeah, but I think Basuma might be going to Liverpool.
Have to wait and see. Danny Kiriakou, what's he saying?
Danny Kiriakou.
He's commenting something else. Let's see.
Anything else?
Fab shut him down. No, one sec. These are just quotes. People.
If you want us to react to anything, do send it in a super chat, and we'll be reacting to that as soon as that drops. But
Alex Spurs says we're also pushing away with the other potential managers by putting all our eggs in one basket in Poch. I do think we're at risk at doing that. I really do. If we do stick with this Poch thing and go to the bitter end with it, we definitely are at risk at losing out on other potential managers for sure.
Oh, by the way, it's something I wanted to tell you guys that we're going to be running our own Euro 2020 Fantasy League.
Yes.
It's going to be good fun. Obviously, we had over 2,000 people taking part in our Premier League Fantasy League this year. So I want to know if you guys are interested to take part in our Euro 2020 Fantasy League. Let us know in the comment section below, and we will be releasing the details later today about that. So, yeah, please let us know if you want to take part. Danny Kiriakou with the super chat saying, keep up the fantastic content, you legends. Come on, you Spurs. Big up yourself, Danny Kiriakou. Yeah. And it looks like we've got a lot of interest in the Euro 2020 Fantasy League. It is completely free to play for you guys. So come and take us on and see if you can beat us in the Fantasy League for the Euro 2020.
Bastard tagging me in things I don't want to see.
Who?
Lewis.
Beneventi.
No, that's Louis.
Oh, Lewis.
Harry Lewis says, lads, I had a dream or nightmare, should I say, that Levy brought in a PE teacher, Ollie, in and sold Kane and brought in Martial. Even my subconscious mind is telling me Levy out. I'm meant to be doing uni work right now, but I'm listening to you lot instead. Love to see it.
Come on.
Up to you, Harry.
Come on.
Look, Poch is only going to come back once. Uni's lasting for a few years, so you're doing the right thing, I think. Sounds like a nightmare, though. Dan Fries, do you think we'd be using Skip in a deal for Max Aarons?
No chance.
Feel like only way we'd get Max is if we extend Skip's loan for another season, give Skip regular prem time next season too, rather than rotating with Højbjerg.
I wouldn't be completely against that, giving him another year on loan to get a complete like a whole season of Premier League experience. But I still would rather have him back.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a valuable member of the squad.
Yeah,
and I think he's matured so much over this year. I'm really interested to see what he's going to be. I'm really interested to see what he's going to want to be like next season when he's given regular game time with Spurs. And I also, because he's a Tottenham boy, because he's been through the academy, he's English. Like, he's seen what
Future
Harry Kane's done. Yeah, exactly.
Capitano.
So I think the sooner we get him involved, the better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But obviously, it would be beneficial if he has regular prem time at Norwich for another season. But I also think he could definitely get a lot of game time at Spurs. AISD18 says, surely if the club really wanted Poch and he wanted to come, they would just buy him out. The culture of the club that needs to change, and it still isn't. We are haggling over something like this, shaking my head.
Yeah. I don't think it's as easy as that.
No, it's not as easy as that. I don't think it's going to be a lot of money. What's this? 1 minute ago, as of this moment, Mauricio Pochettino has still not informed PSG of his desire to leave the club, according to Mohamed Bouhafsi, who is very reliable, if I think.
Yeah, RMC Sport.
Is he RMC?
Yeah. So we've heard our updates from RMC already in the last 12 hours. Last night, I think one of the stories about that break last night from RMC.
Probably. Yeah, I think you're right.
It's just a rehash thing of last night.
He's usually quite a high tier, but obviously
everyone that's commented on it, for and against, have all been high tiers.
It's true.
It just depends where you get your information from. If you get it from the PSG side, he hasn't. If you get it from the Tottenham side, he has. Well, who do you want to believe? I'm going to believe the more positive one.
It's difficult to know what to believe, whether he's done it or not.
Positive thinking. Keep a positive mindset. Come on. It's happening.
All right. In terms of Twitter, not getting that many tweets anymore.
Well, I think we've pretty much run out of time today anyway. It's been a really good live stream. Got through a lot. Obviously spoke a lot about Pochettino today. But we'll have to see how this one plays out. We'll have to see. Secret Pen Man saying before 10 p.m. there's going to be an announcement. Obviously, don't hold your breath on that one. But we'll have to see how this one plays out.
We're all going to be holding our breath after that.
If it does come through and he does sign today, then a lot of people are going to be eating their words. If he doesn't sign today, then everyone can just unfollow him. And that is it. But thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you all for the super chats. A lot of super chats, a lot of new members today, and definitely a lot of viewers today. So appreciate you all. You are the ones that make this channel keep ticking over. So thank you very much for that. And we'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.